In this paper, we present markerless garment capture, a technique for capturing high-resolution geometry of moving garments using a number of video cameras. Unlike previous techniques, our method does not require any special texture or printed pattern on the cloth, allowing us to capture off-the-shelf garments from a variety of different fabrics. Our method consists of 4 key components. We start with a novel acquisition setup to acquire video of the garment in motion. The video is then passed through a state-of-the-art multiview stereo reconstruction algorithm that we have developed for this purpose. This generates initial geometry for each time step. Although the initial geometry can have a significant number of holes, by leveraging low fabric stretch and utilizing the topology of the garments, we are able to produce a consistent cross-parameterization of the frames without explicitly tracking motion. This temporally consistent parameterization then helps us fill holes in the geometry, producing a high-quality final result. We deploy a unique 360-degree high-resolution acquisition setup using 16 consumer video cameras. Our lighting setup avoids strong shadows by using indirect illumination. Here we show a video sequence recorded from each camera viewpoint. The input images from the 16 viewpoints are fed into a custom-designed multiview stereo reconstruction algorithm to obtain an initial 3D mesh for each frame. The resulting meshes contain holes and regions occluded from the cameras, and each mesh has a different connectivity. The next step of our method constructs a consistent cross-parameterization or mapping between the incomplete per-frame meshes. Most fabrics exhibit very low stretch, so we can assume that a consistent parameterization of the garment is nearly isometric. We therefore search for a stretch-minimizing parameterization between frames instead of employing some form of tracking. We also observe that garments have distinct identifiable topology with several boundary loops, which we use to establish correspondences between frames. We associate a floating off-surface anchor vertex with each garment boundary and use these anchors to construct a simple base mesh. Each frame is then independently parameterized onto the same base. Since the input meshes are isometric, by mapping each of them using stretch minimization to the same base mesh, we can expect the maps to be nearly identical, which we highlight here. This results in a nearly isometric map between the input meshes. During parameterization, holes are filled with a smooth membrane as we see on the left. We use a template mesh constructed from a photo of the garment to fill in the hole regions with a surface that better matches the true shape. The result is shown on the right. This particularly improves saddle-like hole regions like under arms. We also use the triangulation of the template for the entire mesh, providing a consistent, compatible remeshing of the sequence. Here we show initial results that demonstrate a consistent cross-parameterization and compatible mesh sequence. We now show capture results for a number of garments. This is a plain cotton t-shirt. Here is a fleece vest. This garment would pose a challenge for marker-based capture methods since it would be difficult to print accurate markers on fleece. We can also use the captured garment for post-production of video. Here we see the vest completely replaced by the captured geometry. In addition, we can augment the original vest by blending in the captured geometry. In this result, the vest appears more specular as we move around a synthetic light source. Here is another t-shirt sequence. Here is a post-production result for a t-shirt. In this sequence, due to the fast motion, there is some minor misalignment between the images and the geometry. This would be corrected by using more accurate camera synchronization.